Did I like Sinners? It was a great movie. Great movie. Y'all go make sure y'all go see it. That's how I feel. Make sure y'all go support, 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 support. That's important because it's a blood. I think Michael B. Jordan did an amazing job. I said this in my video on TikTok. I mean on YouTube. Michael B. Jordan, the one of the best performances I've ever seen from him. One of the best performances. Like he did that. Better than what's that called? What's that called? What he was in? Black Panther. Way better. Way better. He said Blood of Jesus so amazing your life crashed. I don't know what you're talking about. Anywho. The movie was dark though. I'm not used to watching movies like that anymore. No, not Creed, not Creed. Better than Creed. I think this was best performance. Best performance. I am not into that dark of a movie anymore. I don't really like watching stuff like that. But I sat through. I almost walked out. That's how good it was. I'll say that. It was so good. I was like, "Ooh, this is getting too much for me." I don't like watching all that. But it was a very good movie. Very triggering. The racial play in it, you know what I mean? Then it had spirituality and religion, all of those conversations. It was very, I mean, you could have some really good conversations off of that movie itself. So I would highly suggest you guys go watch it. Not by yourself and not at night. I don't want to compare Michael B. Jordan to Denzel because he's Michael B. Jordan. You're saying he's putting himself in a category of Denzel almost? I don't know. But that was his best performance, in my opinion. I don't know what he's been doing, but he got really into character and he sold it. He sold that character. Yeah, Denzel is Denzel. Denzel is Denzel. Michael, let Michael be Michael. You know what I mean? I can see that I can actively see, because I've been watching Michael B. Jordan since The Wire, and I can actively see he's been working on his craft. He's talking about who you went to the movies with. Mind your business. Now, imagine seeing King Mo as a black man and thinking, I like white women. Raptor. I couldn't imagine that. I could not imagine that. But, hey, some people like white women. That's y'all business. Some people will see me and be like, oh, I need me a Karen right now. And that's their business. You know what I mean? I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You know? Hey, that guy. There's better black actors than Michael, to be honest. There's amazing black actors out there. There's one on the top of my head, but I can't remember his name. He did the Great Debaters. I forgot his name. Every time I get on live, this is what goes on outside my window. Y'all, I'm sorry. I live right near a police station, so they're doing that all the time. The op isn't there. I don't have ops. I have fans. I have supporters. And I have family and friends. I don't have ops. Forrest Whitaker would have cleared Michael. Yeah, but he's getting older. They needed somebody. Mo, get down. Lamont, cut it out. Forrest Whitaker's getting older. They wanted somebody younger to do that. Mo does not have ops that would require more carrying negative energy. Child, that you don't have to have negative energy to have ops, honey. But Michael B. Jordan did his thing. Big up to Michael B. Jordan. He did his thing. Everybody in the movie did their thing. It was believable. Okay? Don't make me mad. I'm finna take a flight out of Spirit to Boston tonight, and I pull up. And we needed somebody to have 2 eyes instead of 1. Here you go. Nah, just saying, acting wise, Michael can get there. He got there. We gotta give him his flowers. He's doing his thing. You know what I mean? We real hard on Michael B because we don't know what he got going on. He's a little different, but he did his thing. That black man, he been working hard, and people believe in him. He did his thing in this movie. Completely. I never seen him in when he was doing Black Panther. I could not resonate with the darkness that he was trying to portray, like that whole like it's me auntie, like that, where everybody went crazy over that. I didn't really go crazy over that, but now he did his thing in that movie. Sinners, he did his thing. He needs to continue to work with the people he's working with because they are bringing out the best in him. I hope I pray that he continues to cover himself and he finds himself in good spaces. Because we need good black actors. We don't need all this craziness that's going on in the world anymore. We tired of old Holly weird. We got to really pray for our creatives because just like in the movie, we see in the movie, there's people that prey on people who are creative, who have talents and gifts. And you just have to ask, you just gotta pray for those people because there's people that see that and they want it, or they want to stifle it, or they want to shun you, you know what I mean, for your gifts. It's a lot. And we needed some. Here you go, Marco laughing. Lori Harvey had to break his heart to unlock the performance. Lori Harvey did not break his heart. Tired of Diddy. What are you talking about Diddy for? Hey, Boogie. I ain't gonna be on here long. I just came in here to say hello. I just came in here to say hello. But I did just come back from that movie. And I guess that's why I can't sleep. Because that movie got me. Woo. Yeah, I don't care to talk about Diddy because this whole situation that's going on with Diddy is very weird. And the way people are reacting to Cassie is just very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. I don't like the way I don't know, Vince. My hands are right here. I'm not muting anybody. Marco, stop muting everybody. Because you don't like what... Don't mute everybody. Marco's muting everybody. He wants some attention. But honestly, the movie was great. Make sure you guys go out and support the black creatives. Make sure you go out there and support it. They had spirituality in there. They had religion in there. Of course, it's Christianity. I would like for creatives to explore other religions besides Christianity. A lot of times, I think that the church is the only one that's always under fire. And I think that that's just trendy. I think it's trendy to criticize and criticize the church. There's so many other religions that we can dive into, but we always go back to the church, and sometimes we villainize the church and all this stuff. It's not. We can't always do that. And y'all know I don't believe in that. I don't believe in criticizing other people's religions. You don't have to rock with it. You know? But every religion has order. They have things that they go by. They have things that they go by that they find is true. And that's where I'm at with that. Get away from the pastors like Marvin Sapp that's going to tell you to close them doors. Here we go. Here we go. You finna do podcasts now? What you mean? And there's a lot that goes into these things, right? I'm not going to get into religion. I'm not going to get into religion on here because what we need to really be focusing on is the epidemic. I won't even say epidemic because it's been going on. We need to address the elephant in the room, the violence that is going on against women in our community. That's what we need to be focused on. We need to bring that to light, and we need to figure out why there is so much violence against us. It keeps coming out, and for some reason, it's not sinking into people's head that this is an issue. Every time it comes out, and it's coming out, we're seeing all this proof. We're seeing all this proof about the issues of violence in our community. But we're like, nah, she a hoe. She's a whore. She get a little ghetto when she get mad. I see why he slapped her. She's a whore. It's getting spooky. Like, what? I'll tell you right now, as much as love and light I am, and I'll turn the other cheek, I'll walk away. I'm not sitting here arguing with you all day. I'm not doing all that. But I will cuss you out. Do I deserve to get slapped and punched and knocked out? And a tooth chipped and to be held against my will? Y'all love everybody freaked out a little bit nowadays. Does that mean that you deserve to be pimped out? You a little freaky. Your mama freaky too. And your daddy freaky. And your sister freaky and your brother's freaky. Do they deserve to be pimped out? Stomped on in the hotel lobby? That's a turn on for me. I don't know what you're talking about, Marco. I don't know what was a turn on. But you get what I'm saying? Like, we are getting away from what's going on because we in our feelings, because we having arguments with our baby mamas and our baby daddies. We have to be a little bit more bigger picture than that. You can't look at because you had a falling out with your baby mama. Now we're not looking at the statistics or the things that are going on that keep popping up, and it will continue to pop up until we acknowledge what's going on in our community. And yes, some of it does have to do with the fact that we have been brought here against our will. That violence has been a thing that has been placed on us, right? Because sometimes what happens is people who have been abused. We know this. People who have been abused sometimes become abusers. So if we have a long line of being abused, systemically abused and physically abused on the streets by the police and all this stuff, yeah, we might be a little bit rah-rah, right? If everywhere you go, you are looked at as a weapon, yeah, you might become a little bit rah-rah. You might have a little you might have a little violence in you. But that's where restorative practices come in. That's where we have to get back to some kind of relationship with somebody. God, Allah, like somebody. You need to sit down and get back centered into something. Your ancestors, whoever it is, if you're into spirituality, whatever it is that you do in your free time, we got to get back to that. We got to get into some healing in the community, because yes, we are a people who have been tortured in a lot of areas, and that's passed down. That violence that was imposed on us, because, well, I won't say that, but we came over here against our will, and it was a lot of violence, but we cannot use that as a crutch anymore. The reality is that violence in our community is out of control. And that is why, y'all, I wasn't even supposed to be on here this long, but that is why when everybody says, why didn't anybody say anything? Why didn't anybody save Cassie, or blah, 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 or why didn't any man stand up? Why you think? Let's be real. Why didn't any man stand up? Why are black women being abused at one of the highest rates amongst women of any rates? And there's no protection. Why? Because men are like, I don't want to get pew-pewed trying to save you. They understand the severity of the violence in the community as well. And they're afraid for their life. They're like, yo, I can't get involved because I got kids to go home to. I got a woman to go home to. I got parents that I need to help. So they don't get involved because they know the violence on the other end of getting involved. So when women come out and say certain things, why are you shaming? If you won't get involved, if you're not going to stand up, if we're all going to sit here and watch her get dragged, and you're not going to stand up because you know in your mind, hey, I could lose my life trying to protect this woman. That's your business. That's your prerogative. I get it. But when somebody comes out and says X, Y, and Z, and the statistics are shown, mind you, a lot of people do not report because, you know, cop calling in the neighborhood is not a thing. That's not, we deal with things in home. You really call that police on that you called the police on that man? Systemic oppression. The jail to pipeline. No, that's not jail to pipeline. That's him beating on me. He decided to do that. He didn't go outside and get hemmed up by a police officer. He came home and hemmed me up. Absolutely. In front of our kids. Majority of women in jail, it's not because of violent crimes. It's from petty thievery. It's from trying to steal and stuff like that in order to make ends meet for their family. It's selling their bodies. It's all of this stuff to make ends meet. They're not violent crimes. Look it up. I've done the research so I could come on here, because every time you say something on here, it's like you want. That's why now, you know, I don't even argue in the comments with people. I just let them say what they got to say. I'm not going to sit here. You do the research. I'm saying, well, I'm the vessel of what I'm saying because it's placed on my heart, but I'm not going to sit here in my comments and argue with you about black women. Do the research. I don't care that you're having an argument with your baby mama. I'm talking about statistically. There is an epidemic of violence against Black women. And now, in turn, we are projected on and told, oh, but you deserved it because you do this when you talk. You do this when you talk. Your skirt's too short. Your skirt's too short. You slept with my homeboy. You deserve to get that. You slept with my homeboy. You a hoe. Mind you, Kettle. I'm a hoe. If I'm a hoe, you a hoe. And we're both hoes. For Cassie to be up there and everybody's like, oh my God, what is her husband thinking? What do you mean, what is her husband thinking? Once again, shaming the victim. But look at how many people have lost their careers and their life under that man. But it's a different tune when we're talking about what we saw with these young Black men that lost their careers. Mace is the only one that made it out. Look at what we saw, what happened to Black Rob. We saw him at the end. Do you have empathy? Do you have empathy for the Black man when you see him on his deathbed? But you don't have it for the Black woman when she comes out and says something that you would not stand up for because you are scared to lose your life as well at the hand of another man? You don't stand up for women because you are scared to lose your life at the hand of another man. But as soon as a woman comes out and says something, she's a whore, she's this, she's that. Bruh, what's good? 1 in 3 Black women are somewhat assaulted in some kind of sexual way. 1 in 3. So the next time you go to, and I just said this at my YouTube video, and I don't know why I'm coming back and say it on Twitch and on TikTok. When you go to the next concert, the next time you sitting there with all your family and your friends, including your daughters and your mother and your aunts, because we're not going to let go of the fact that your daughters are in the room. 1 in 3 have had some kind of sexual assault. And that's including your baby. Lord forbid, I would not wish that on nobody. But we have to address the violence that's going on in our community. It keeps coming out. And it's going to keep coming out until we address it. Until we acknowledge it. We can't keep diverting. We can't keep blaming everybody. Yes, things have happened to us. Violent crimes have happened to black people. When we step outside, we are met with aggression. Absolutely. Absolutely, we are met with aggression everywhere we go. So that will make you aggressive, wouldn't it? Hey, Ty. That would make you a little angry, wouldn't it? But we have to address it. Some of it is a trauma response, but you don't get to go home and be on that woman. You don't get to shame a woman because she goes to the gym and she wears what she wants to wear to the gym. You don't get to do that because you feel uncomfortable within your skin. and in your form of discipline. 1 in 3 with black women. 1 in 3, y'all. And you didn't stick up for her because you knew that if you did, you would. It's potentially that you would lose your life. So remember that when you are shaming somebody for coming out. Now, I am not sitting here saying that we don't see people getting falsely accused. I'm not saying that. But it's 1 in 3. And we have to change our narrative when we're talking about our little black girls and black women and how we go to tear them to shreds. The old dude, that streamer, Aiden Ross, white dude, the audacity to speak on Doechii, the audacity to open his mouth to feel comfortable to speak on a black woman. What is Doechii doing? Y'all mad at her? Oh, y'all think she's an industry plant, so you think that... What's going on? Why do you feel so comfortable to get on the internet and completely disrespect a black woman? We know the reason why. We're looking at it in the media all day long. Is everybody wrong? Black women are choosing to be single because we love black men so much that we would rather be single and not date anyone than to date somebody outside of our race. Think about it. We sit here and we shame black women. Oh, you're single, you got kids, blah, 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 blah. Women are choosing to be single because they'd rather have a black king at home. They'd rather not have a king at home at all than not to have a black king at home. You don't see that respect? You don't think that we deserve that some kind of protection, some kind of honor? You ducking and dodging and bobbing and weaving when you walk outside. Not because of a woman, but because of a man, because of homeboys on the street. We have to talk about the violence, the anger. What's going on? And so when women come out and say they've been assaulted, come on, you already know because you're walking around with your head on a swivel in case something pop off. So what do you think? We're not doing that? But you have to walk outside for that to happen. We in the house getting our heads knocked off. We got our kids watching. We staying here because we trying to make sure our kids are good. But every time we talk about it, we a slut whore or we bitter or angry. I just told one of my best friends, he's a guy, one of my best friends, I told him, I said, the reason why I speak on this and I don't care is because I do have a relationship, because that's the first thing they want to say. They either want to degrade you and say, are you married? Do you have a man? Or they say, do you have a father? That's what they want to ask when a black woman talks about certain things. They want to degrade you. Do you have a father? Do you have a father? Do you? Why are you asking me that? And the reason why I speak on it is because I have a father. Because I know what it feels like for a black man to show up for me. Because I know what it looks like for a black man to put his family first. That's why I can speak on bitch assness. Welcome. That's why I can speak on it. Because I know what it looks like not to be a bitch ass nigga. Hello? Sorry to say it. That's why I could speak. That's why I could look you in your eyes and say hello, because I done seen what it looked like for a man to show up for a woman, for his children. I'm not crashing out. This is not crashing out. There is so much going on right now. It is uncomfortable. And we have to address it. This is not crashing out. I'm saying this because I do have a father that I can call right now at 12:06 at night and say, I have an issue. And he would get up and come right over right now with no hesitation, with no like, oh, I got no making me feel inconvenienced. I was raised by a strong black man, so when I see excuses, I see excuses. When I see you shaming instead of being honest about what's going on, it's uncomfortable. We have to address the violence in the community. It's not even just out of protection of women. If you really step out of your own ego for a minute and your own self-pity of everybody's the black man's under attack, and you really think about it, this is in protection of you. Because you have to know how to bob and weave when you step outside here. You have to know the situations. Hey, Pablo, you got to know the situations where you need to run. When I have somebody under my comments says, well, when a female is wilding out and she's ready, she's hitting and doing all this stuff, what am I supposed to do? That's a conversation that a father is supposed to have with a son. You're not supposed to be on the internet asking me as a black woman, what am I supposed to do? A father. You were supposed to have that conversation a long time ago, what you were supposed to do if you get involved with a woman who is out of control. Am I right or am I wrong? That is a conversation you were supposed to have with your father. That same father that you're asking me, do I have? That's the conversation you were supposed to have. You shouldn't be on the internet trying to unpack what am I supposed to do when a woman is doing this. Am I supposed to just let her do it? Come on. That's a conversation that was supposed to be had. Because that's out of a protection of you as a man. They're supposed to teach you the signs, the type of women you're supposed to stay away from. That's all the things that a father's supposed to teach his son. Right? So when you're on the internet and you're saying, oh, well, women do this. Yeah, absolutely. There's some bad seeds out here. And they ready to get you locked the fuck up. And you as a man have to know how to handle that. And that's where your father steps in. That's where your older brother steps in. That's where the older men in your life are supposed to teach you. But if there's not enough around in the community or there's stuff going on, the same way that little black girls is being raised in single parent families and all this stuff, come on. We have to address it. The violence in the community is outrageous, and it's gotten to the point where we are comfortable with it. We're comfortable seeing black women being disrespected. It's not even odd. You know, there was a time and a place where it would be odd to see a man in public cussing out, degrading a woman, a black woman. In public, making music, degrading, talking junk about a black woman. The black woman was what? I'm not talking about what went on behind closed doors. I'm talking about just blatantly. We just gotten too comfortable disrespecting and wanting respect in return. That's not how it works. And we know that. We know that. How you feel about the Zoe Spencer situation? I was just talking to somebody about, that's a level up situation right there. That's a level up situation with Zoe. That is God blocked it. She has to see her power. She has to see her importance. She has to see why she's the shit. That's what we all waiting on. Because she wasn't annoying when everybody was inviting her on the streams, using her feminine energy. Of course, everybody's saying she's masculine, but everybody was using her feminine energy, her beauty, to be on the streams. When they was clip farming her. And everybody was slut shaming her in the comments, but they was clip farming her. They was using her for her feminine energy there. They was clip farming every 5 minutes. Everybody was shipping with her, right? She was good enough to be on the streams then when everybody had to use her as the clip farming because she had motion. But this is a part of being a woman in a male-dominant industry. Nicki Minaj goes through that same thing, went through that same thing. Don't get too comfortable is what Future said. Don't ever get too comfortable. Don't ever think. And for her to be on live, she's crying, all this stuff, and then men going ballistic on her. Calling her out of her name, doing all this stuff, doing the most. She can't be annoying because she's a woman. She's supposed to be prim and proper. She's supposed to be quaint and quiet, not too loud. Rakai's on streams, acting wild and out, blowing up TVs and doing all this stuff. That's okay. He's not annoying enough not to be a part of the movement. But she's annoying because she's loud and she's vibrant. And she's bringing content. Whatever, if you respect the content or not, she's bringing content. She's been consistent. But because she's a woman, she's supposed to be quaint and quiet. But she wasn't too much when everybody was using her to clip farm for their content. Because there is power in the woman. There is power. And men know that. That's why they want to have beautiful women in their sections. That's why they want to have beautiful women on the streams. There is power in that. Women just have to understand that. She has to understand that. She needs to do her own movement. She needs to get some more female streamers on there. She needs to do her thing. This is her time. It is not her time to address, beg, nothing. She's got to know her power. She got to know, hey, if you not for me, you against me. If you ain't speaking up for me and have my back when it needs be, and not you texting me a sidebar and doing all this stuff low key, but I'm being humiliated and embarrassed and slut shamed on live, and you ain't got my back up front, because we doing streaming stuff. We're not doing behind the scenes. We're doing streaming stuff. So this is all live. If you don't got my back live, you don't got my back in private. Especially if you on live all the time. Hey. We just all waiting on her to figure out she's got motion. You don't need them. They've been needing you. They've been clip farming you, honey. Let's be real. It was cool. And somewhere down the line, it got real weird. People started moving funny. But just like when you're a black person in white spaces, you can never forget you're a black person in any space. It doesn't matter how rich you get, how much money, how much influence you get, affluence you get. You can never forget you're a black person in a room full of white people. And just like you might be the only woman in the room, you could never forget in a midst of all these men, you can never forget you're a woman. You're a woman. So you move. They try to isolate you because this is we're seeing it in real time. This is isolating her. Bet. Pivot. Women are fruitful. Pivot, honey. Don't even sweat it. Because you know who the consumer is. It's a woman. When you have women on your team, you get into the bag. The consumer of a woman, they're going to buy. They're going to spend. The men are going to spend on the women. If I want your stuff, the men are going to spend. If I tell my man I want this from Zoe, he going to buy it. If I want to spend $300 on my hair because Zoe did her hair like that, I'm going to spend $300 on my head. We're the consumers. We're the ones that support. We're the ones on the front line. Anytime Black Lives Matter, anytime somebody gets pewed, we're the ones on the front line every time. If we as a collective say, that's none of our business, because it's happened a couple of times. Where we had some situations going on and we found out that person was speaking poorly on black women, we said, we're not standing up for this one. This is none of our business. And it was that. Don't make me target you. Target is what I'm talking about. And everybody knows that. That's why they clip farm. That's why they're doing her like that. It's messed up. And it's fake and phony. And if I take the time to come out on your stream and support you, whatever how you may feel about me, you think I'm annoying, you think I'm that, you kept bringing me on this. And she's been consistently herself. She's been consistently doing whatever she's doing that's aggravating everybody. Now she's aggravating you. Okay, bet. But I supported you. It deserves a conversation. You feeling some type of way, you in your feelings about whatever, you got humiliated, bet. You pull me aside. A real one. I was just telling somebody that. But then we've all been in those positions where people just start moving funny instead of just being like, hey, you kind of made me feel some type of way. What's up? What's going on? But that comes with knowing yourself. That comes with maturity, and that comes with confidence. Or you just didn't really care about them from the beginning, and you were just using the person, so you didn't even care to address it. Or you just wasn't rocking with them like that, and you didn't care to address it, so you just didn't. She's got to pivot. Forget all of that. She's got her people. Pivot, girl, and make it a only woman's thing. Make it a woman thing. I would not support no more clip farming me and my energy. Using me for my good looks and my ability to keep up. Come on now. That's how I feel about the Zoe situation. Shout out to her. She's a beautiful young lady. I hope she gets everything she wants. I hope she comes out on top. I hope that she starts rocking this situation. I hope that she gets all the views she can get. I'm rooting for her. She's got to know who her people are. And it might not be every woman. I'm not saying it's just all women, but it's time to pivot. It is. So that's how I feel about that. That's how I feel. There's a lot going on in the internet, and it's really disturbing. It's really sad. Thank you, man. I appreciate the roses. I appreciate you, honey. It's really sad. It's tiring. It is very tiring. That's why I really haven't said nothing. It's just been real dark. It's been real dark. The only reason why I'm even on here is because I went to go see the movie Sinners, and I'm up. But it's real dark. And then for us to get back to certain things, we have to address it because we can't sit here and be quiet about it anymore because it's coming out. You know what I mean? We can pretend for so long about certain things or push things under the rugs. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of things have been pushed under the rug in our community. We could do that, but for so long, it's gonna come out. What's up, True? It's gonna come out. So we just have to address it. It's not about bashing. It's not about hating on people. It's about just addressing what's going on. You get what I'm saying? It's exhausting. It's exhausting for women. It's exhausting for the men who are doing what they need to do too. One apple spoils it for the rest of them. When you're doing what you're supposed to do, but you're grouped with the rest of the hooligans, it sucks. It sucks. When you're a great father and you love on your woman and this and that, and you know what I mean, you're picking up a lot of slack for your counterparts. And that can be exhausting. That's why you don't see those ones really on the internet saying much, because they're doing the work. They're outside in the field. They're doing the work. They're raising their children and other men's children. They're in the communities. They're at work. They're loving on their black queen at home. They're getting home and getting fed and getting their belly rubbed. You get what I'm saying? It makes it bad for fathers that are in trying to have custody battles and stuff like that, and sometimes the judicial system doesn't see it because so many are not doing. So when you finally have a man that's doing and he just wants to see his children, he wants to get custody in certain things, he has such a harder time because of the stigmatism of what's going on in our community. So sometimes they side with the women because of that. Does that make sense? So it is a black woman issue as far as we are getting the brunt of it, but so are men. That's why it's crazy not to sit here and say, to shun when women are coming out and saying what's going on in how they're experiencing men, because what they're experiencing, other men have to experience as well. The men that are doing, the men that are trying, the men that decided to do the work, they are suffering because of what's going on in our community. It feels like a calculated divide. At some point, I would say yes, but at this point, I'm at the point where we just have to take some serious accountability here. At one point, they were pinning us against each other, black man versus black woman. At some point, they were pinning us against us, light skin versus dark skin, right? But now we have taken it upon ourselves. We're doing it to ourselves. It's self-inflicted pain and wounds that we are doing to ourselves. We have to want for more. We have to love ourselves a little harder. We can't succumb to all of the addictions and the craziness and the consumerism. We have to clear our minds. We have to go back to God, whatever God you serve. We have to get back right. I'm not saying you have to be Christian. I'm not saying anything. I'm not advocating for nothing. I'm saying you got to get right with somebody. We're doing it to ourselves now. Yes, at first, it's just like growing up, right? Your parents fucked you up. Your parents didn't do this. Your parents didn't do that. They messed you up. Now you're grown. It's your responsibility for your own healing. Yeah, we were born into some shit as a black person. We was born into some shit. Absolutely. But now we're grown. Now we have resources. Now we have access to certain things. Now we have so many things that we could do, and we're not using it. We can no longer blame everybody else. Now, this is not for white people to come in here and feel like they have a say in this. Cause mind your business. Cause there's still some work you need to do. But I'm talking black person to black person. Now it's our duty to clean up our communities and clean up how we are dealing with each other. Because I always go to this because I work with children. It's affecting the children. The children are suffering because the black man and the black woman is against each other. We are angry. Rightfully so. But it's a lot of misdirected energy. And we got to get it together. Brunch needs to stop being on Sunday. Whenever you go, hey, a lot of kids are not even being raised in any forms of I'm not going to get into it. Where my parents were my first enemy in life. Exactly. And at some point, is that what you're going to use for the rest of your life? You're going to allow your parents to ruin the rest of your life? A lot of us have those conversations because a lot of us have those stories. A lot of us. Have you seen the climate of HBCUs? What do you mean? Like in reference to what? See, now y'all know I've been going to Atlanta a lot, so I've been in like I've I live in Boston, and there's a lot of Caucasians up here, so I live a little differently than in the South, right? Where it's a lot of black people. You see like black doctors, black lawyers, you see black professionals, you see all these people, thriving, doing their things and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different of a lifestyle down there, but we are still under attack. We have to get it together a bit. We have lost the plot. What's up, Royal? We've lost the plot. We're just out here willy-nilly, just as ignorant. I mean, there was a time and place where we were forbidden to read and write, and we had more knowledge. There was a time when we were forbidden to read and write, and we had more knowledge. More dignity about ourselves, more self-respect, more respect for each other. And now you can't, exactly. And now people don't want to read and write anymore. Now we on the internet talk about why black boys are not going to college and this and that, blah, blah, blah. That was a right that was taken from us. Do you know that there's a reason? Hey, Nas, there's a reason why knowledge was forbidden. Just like there's a reason why why it took so long for women to have certain rights. There's a reason behind that. That means there is power in it. There's power in that. There was a reason why we were not able to legally marry each other. Because there's power in Black love. Hello? Anything that they took from us, that was because there was power in it. The family unit. There's power in the family unit. That's why they separated us. But we sitting here arguing about light skin versus dark skin. We sitting here arguing about who's paying 50-50. What we doing? Where we at? We done lost the plot. Just straight rapping, singing. Wait, did you say? Just straight rapping, singing, dancing, ignorant stuff that is distraction to what's really going on. Straight up distracted. Hey, Barry. Distracted. But if I talk about God, my record won't get played. Hello? Yay? Peace and blessings to you. And, I'm not sitting here from the mountaintop looking down. I'm sitting here talking to me too. I'm right in here with y'all. So when we have a loss, we have a lost souls, and they're asking about what do a man do when a woman acts crazy. If we having those types of conversations, that's because there wasn't a man present to tell you what to do when you have a woman who's wilding out. Equity between man and woman does not mean squaring up between man and woman. That's not equity. I'm sorry to tell you. We got to get it together. We worried about everything that don't make no sense. You worried about if I'm wearing 30-inch bust down or my natural naps is not the issue. What are we talking about right now? There's pertinent things that are going on in our community, but we are worried about bullshit. We can't blame nobody. I don't care what the white man's doing. I don't care how much trafficking he's doing. So you want to do what he's doing? And I will say it till I'm blue in the face. Hey, black people, hello, we're the chosen ones. Every time as a chosen one, you think you could do the raw, dirty dog shit that white people are doing, or that person doing, or this race is doing, or that person, the blue person down the street is doing, you think you could do it, you will always be made an example of. And that is what's happening. Every 5 minutes, oh, the black man's under attack, blah, blah. No, until you realize you're the chosen one, you're chosen black man, and you can't walk around here and do whatever you think you want to do because so-and-so did it, you will be made an example of until you surrender. I don't want to hear, well, what, so-and-so did it. He didn't get locked up. Who can? That sounds like my students at school. Every time I say something to one student, they're like, well, he's doing it. She's doing it. I'm talking to you. Mind your business. I'm talking to you. What are you talking about? Why are you talking about what Robert's doing down the street in the next neighborhood? You're chosen. So that means that anytime you are chosen, you got to step with some integrity and some respect and some order, or you will be made an example out of until you surrender. However you want to see it. Whoever you surrender to, God, your ancestors, whoever it is that you are supposed to, and especially it's important for you to have a relationship higher than yourself as a man. Come on, what are we doing? You pointing at everybody else, you're going to be made an example out of. Just like black women, we chosen. Everything we do, we can't even pass gas. Somebody got something to say about it. Everything we do, we're under microscope because we are chosen. That's why we flourish with little to none resources or things, barriers put up against us. You don't think that you have a responsibility for that? Jay-Z, not to quote Jay-Z, but he said it the best. You get into these rooms, you forget who you are, where you from. You forgot you was royalty. You just out here willy-nilly. You just doing whatever. You thinking that nobody gonna see the creepy crawly shit that you're doing at night. No. We will talk about this in the morning. Exactly, Eddie. Queens of queens are black women. That's why we are constantly pushed down and stole from. You don't think that, like I said, anything that's been taken from you, that or we have been forbidden to do or have, is because there's power in that. So they know it's power in black women feeling good about themselves, feeling beautiful about their bodies and their minds and in their features. And feeling elevated and feeling taken care of and feeling as if they are royalty. They know there's power. So what are you going to do? You're going to at any moment of the day, you're going to tear down the what's the word? Now I'm blanking. The image of a black woman. Any chance you get. Especially our skin, our power, our melanin, especially our skin, our melanin, it's power in that. There's power in it, baby. That's why we age the way we do. The only way we don't age the way we do is because we don't take care of ourselves. And even then, we still have a chance at aging gracefully. But we pointing fingers at everybody. And while we pointing fingers at everybody, our kids are suffering. Our kids are suffering. We have a whole new generation that has no clue what it means to be black. The power of being black and beautiful. They have no clue of code of conduct, of how to carry yourself, how to move. Code. They have no clue. So that's all I got to say. I've been ranting all day. I've been ranting, y'all. I gotta go to bed. Oh my God, it's almost 1 o'clock, y'all. I gotta get up in the morning. Talk about an angry bird. I'm about to be moody tomorrow. Ooh, I asked someone, is anything sacred anymore? Is anything sacred? At one point, it was sacred to bear a man's child. That was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing to bear a man's child. It was an honor. It was an honor to have his last name. What is sacred now? We birthed a generation of kids zombified, brainwashed by social media, Democrats, party, and podcasts. Yeah. Absolutely. And you know why that is? Because people aren't talking to them. Before you went outside, when I was growing up, the elders talked to you and told you how to conduct yourself, and they told you how you're supposed to move, who you are. Now people not talking to them. That's why we have iPad kids. Our children can't sit still for 15 minutes. Everybody, I got ADD, I got ADHD. We all got it. Can't sit still for 15 minutes. 15 minutes they can't sit still. People are not talking to them. They're not pouring into them. And it's gotten so bad now, when you do try to talk to them, some of them be wild. Disrespectful. They don't even feel like it. What do you know? Because they see us on the internet disrespecting each other. So now they got this attitude like they talking to you like we talking to each other in the chats. Wild. But it's a different tone when it's a child talking to you and you a grown-ass adult paying these grown-ass bills. And now you're like, who the... Then you got to remember, oh, this is a kid. I can't cuss him out and drop him on the neck. I got to get myself together. Because they're talking to you like you talk to the people in the chats. They're talking to you like you talk to your man. They're talking to you like you talk to your woman. Because now they all in grown folks' business. They're hearing the whole conversation. So now you talking to a child and it sounds like you talking to your baby mama or your baby daddy. They just talking to you any kind of way. And that's a different type of disrespect. Because you a grown person now. You ain't no kid no more. You're coming from a manhood. You come from a womanhood. That's a different type of disrespect from a child. Who you talking to? Who you talking to? Because they're on that internet watching us talk to each other like that. Watching us put all our business on the internet. 13 going on 30. Child. Exercise all your patience. Every last bit of your patience. They will. This is crazy. This is live. This is live. But I'm about to get off. I'm going to bed. I'm gonna drink my little tea. I like to drink a little tea before I go to bed. Now you understand why some folks don't want kids for real. And sometimes I don't think people don't want kids because of the kids. I think it's because of just what's going on in the community right now. A lot of people are at war. Not even read the rest unless it applies to you is crazy, sis. I'm on live. I'm talking, so I'm not reading everything. I'm sorry. You asked me for a song. I thought you was a bot. I'm not talking about music right now. You asked me to recommend a song. I'm not talking about that right now. Anyways, now I understand. Yeah. Right now, it's like, mind you, to bear a child, I'm talking from a black woman's perspective, to bear a child, and that's the thing. Like, y'all see, I'm sitting here talking. I'm not getting to everybody's conversation because I'm getting out what's on my mind. And there's some people that feel like, I'm talking to you, you're supposed to speak to me right now, acknowledge me. Like, hey, yo, I'm getting out what I got to say. And then I'll go back and I'll read the comments, but I can't read every comment and still have a conversation. I'll lose my train of thought. But people want instant gratification. Anyways, what I'm saying, that's what live is. That's not what live is. It's not that. It's about what I'm doing, what I want to do on my live. I'm not going to answer every conversation. I'm not going to answer everything that you say because I'm in the middle of a conversation. Other things children don't understand. You could be in a full conversation with somebody and a child will come up to you and say whatever they want. Excuse me, you don't even have no manners to say, excuse me. Anywho, so they want that easy bake oven. I'm trying to tell you, I used to have me a little easy bake oven back in the day too. But a lot of people don't want kids for real, not because they don't want the children, but one, because they don't want the children because of what's going on with children right now. It's real hard to deal with children in this world. And then two, black women are still at risk of, passing away during, the mortality rate is still very high. And then to be left and abandoned to raise a child on your own is crazy. And then you got some men who are scared of children because it's like they're scared of the, picking the wrong one and having a crazy baby mama. You got all these things that are going against, child support and all that stuff, which is understandable. Right now, the state of taking care of home is kind of out of whack. Taking care of home is a thing of the past. People are so excited about social media, right? That instant gratification on the street and outside and online is more important than taking care of what you got going on at home. And investing in that. And seeing how that elevates you. But if you were connected to a higher source, you would know that that's where your fruit is. That's where your fruit is. Taking care of your fruit is there. So I'm going to end on that. I got somebody over here. I don't know what's going on with this person. But the way my mind is, when I'm in flow, I have to get out what I'm saying, or I'll forget, or I'll get sidetracked. Because we went through a couple of conversations. Y'all see how I roll. I get sidetracked. So sometimes I try to say hello to everybody. I try to acknowledge everything. But sometimes I'm just chatting. I'm just talking. I'm just flowing right now. So you got to be patient with me. Listen up. But if you want me to stop what I'm doing and stop my train of thought to acknowledge everything that you got going on, you're in the wrong facility. You're in the wrong spot. I can't do all of that and get out what's on my mind right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing that. I don't do that in real life. I don't answer text messages right away, every day, all day, phone calls and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I don't think that anybody is owed my energy right off the bat all the time. I have to conserve myself because I'm only one person. I'm only one person. Listen, you don't know me, and I don't know you. I'm not an AI robot. Exactly. You don't know me. You can leave at any point. I'm not holding nobody hostage. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to block. Yeah, I'm on Twitch. People get crazy with that. I'm human. I'm trying to answer everybody, but and it doesn't seem like a lot because it's not a lot of people. But when you're flowing, when you're talking, and you're this and that, like, yeah, it happens. So I appreciate all of you guys for coming out, chatting with me. Your conversation was good. I really, 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 really appreciate you guys understand where I'm coming from because it's not, you know what? I'm going to be honest. It's not easy to come on here and talk about these things because, like I said, a lot of people are going to perceive it as like, I had somebody come up on here, no disrespect, but they said, oh, you crashing out. I'm not crashing out. But when a woman is talking with passion, you know what I mean? Like now I'm crashing out. I'm not crashing out. I'm very chill, relaxed. And I know what I'm saying. And I'm saying it with concern. I'm saying it with love. And I'm saying it with honesty, the honesty that I know. But there's a risk of coming on here and speaking on this and being labeled bitter, angry black woman, loud black woman, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you're listening with an untrained ear, unhealed ear, you're not going to be able to hear me. If you're listening to what you went through this, with the air whatever you went through this morning, you're not going to hear me. Because you're in another space. And it's hard to step outside yourself to hear the bigger conversations of things. It is hard. It's hard for me to hear sometimes people bash black women when I know that 40% of black women are in domestic violence situations. It's hard for me to hear that. When I see my black women, my counterparts struggling, it's hard for me to hear that. But I also have to hear what people have to say and the things that we need to correct as black women. But it's hard to hear it when I know that we are under attack, that we are being kidnapped in the mass amounts. Our little black girls are being kidnapped in the mass amounts. When the rising rates of single black mothers are continuing. It's hard for me to hear that, but I have to still be able to be like, you know what? Yes, as women, we need to work on this. Yes, we need to work on that. But if I came on here and that's not where I'm coming from. So you got to be able to listen with an ear of understanding the bigger picture, not your personal situations, not your personal gratification. Not your personal hatred or your personal, issues. What do you mean am I not adding you tonight? I'm about to get off. I didn't even see, because the way I have the screen, I didn't see. When you have it like, I put it over so I can see your comments in big. So when I do that, I don't see who's requesting to come on live. Because when I have it like smaller, I can see. But when I push it over, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying on TikTok. When I push it over so I can see your words in the bigger font on a different screen, it does not show when people are requesting to add me. So I'm not ignoring. But I'm about to get off here, Royal. I'm already tired. It's almost 1 o'clock. I know this is Royal's time. This is Royal's time. You be up late, but y'all know I be in the bed. Oh, thank you, Blue Label Kicks. I appreciate it. I know I'm going to bed. I'm tired, y'all. I am. You too, y'all. I'm gonna post whatever. I'm gonna post this. It'll be everything that I said. It'll be on my Twitch, and then I'm gonna also post it to my YouTube. I'll post it later. I've already posted something on YouTube earlier, but I just came on here because I didn't want to just not. I know exactly, Pablo. But I will post this one. So this will be the part 2 of whatever I posted on YouTube. If you want to check that out, y'all can check me out on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on TikTok. I appreciate your comments. Let me know. Let me know what else you want to hear. Ask me questions, topics you want to hear me talk about. I'm always open. Not so open where you think you can run my life. No, I'm joking. You got to throw that out there. But this is a collective. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. And I love you guys long time. I'm out. Your girl is out. It's time to go to bed. Okay? I might go to the porch real quick and just relax. All right, y'all.